Hi, everyone. Welcome to the team call for the first Thursday in September. Can you believe we are in September? The year is 3/4 of the way done, and I can't even believe it. I look back, and I'm like, where did the year go? It was crazy, and we're making it. So we have 3-4 months until the new year. So I'm hoping that this call today can fire you up and hopefully fuel that passion to keep you going, and maybe what I say might sting just a little bit. And if it stings just a little bit, that means that you need to hear it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can do my presentation because it's easier for me to take notes this way or to remember what I'm doing. Oh, hold on. If I would remember how to get into present mode. Okay. So today, can everybody see that okay? Can somebody give me a okay? Yay, we can see it. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about the 4 reasons why people fail at a business like this, why people fail at coaching. And I'm not usually one to focus on failures because I always say, when you fail at something, it's just a step towards success. But these 4 reasons why people don't have success are some of those things that I want you to, as you're listening to them, to take note and see if maybe you fall into one of these reasons or categories and how we could switch your mindset, switch your actions, switch your goals around so you can be different, so you can have success. So I hope you're coming open, ready, and willing to listen to some of the things that are going to challenge you, because some of these things that I'm going to say are going to challenge you, maybe even make you uncomfortable. Because I know when I was reading them and looking at them and preparing them, I was like, yeah, like this is some stuff that kind of hurts a little bit because it's true. It really opened my eyes to people I've worked with, to my own stuff that I've dealt with and overcome. So if it makes you uncomfortable or if it kind of pushes you out of your comfort zone a little bit, that's okay. That means you need to hear it. So as I can see, I didn't use the best font for this thing. Why are you failing? And you might not be failing, but are you having the success that you hope that you're having? I guess that's a better way to put it. Are you one of those coaches that's like, gosh, I wish this business was easier. It looks so easy for everybody else. Everybody else is succeeding at this. It's just not working for me. I mean, have you ever said those things, thought those things? I mean, if I'm honest, I've said those things and thought those things as well. I always am like, what are they doing? What are they saying? What are they messaging to people to get Success Club 32 in 1 month? What am I doing wrong? And that's natural to feel that way. But if you're feeling that way and not taking any action or not looking into what you're doing, then you don't really have any right to do that. You can't stay in that mindset. So I'm going to challenge your thinking a little bit today. So this business that we're doing is kind of unconventional. I always find it hard to explain to people what I do because it's unconventional. We're doing something that most people either don't like, don't understand, aren't familiar with at all, and we're trying to make a living at it. Most of us have a big goal to make a living at this business. So if you want to grow this business, are you willing to dig in, stretch yourself, and work through the good and bad times? Because this business isn't easy. We all know that, but it's simple. And I think a lot of the times people who don't have success in this business, they overcomplicate it and forget that it really is a simple business. We get so caught up in all of these distractions of things that we think we need to do or we think that other people are doing that we forget that this business is actually really simple. We are here to help and connect with people. If you had to do one of our vital behaviors every single day, that would get you to success, it would be to invite, to connect with people. So this business isn't easy, but it's simple. So these are the 4 reasons why people fail. First one, reason number 1, they're not coachable. So to have success in this business, it requires you to be open to learning a simple system. So what is the system for Beachbody? What is our system that if we follow, we should most likely have success? Our system is the vital behaviors. Be a product of the product, invite, recognize people, invite, what am I forgetting? I'm such a great coach. Invite, be a product of the product, personal development, and recognition. Those are the things that every single day we should be doing. We should be working on ourselves, being a product of the product. We should be doing our workout, drinking our shake. We need to be inviting people. We need to connect with people. I like to call it connecting. But if you're not connecting, that's the one vital behavior I think most people want to skip or they don't do often enough, because it's the one behavior that's not always very fun. Talking and connecting and inviting people is very, very uncomfortable. Recognizing people and doing your personal development. That's the simple system that if we followed every single day, we could have success. That's why it's literally called the vital behaviors. And you hear it over and over and over again. So I personally think if someone isn't seeing success, it's almost always because they're not following the system. Either because they don't trust it or because they're arrogant enough to think they can do it faster, stronger, or better. So, and I'm just going to say we might all have those coaches on our team, or you might be that coach that at times you're like, well, this is great, but I don't need to talk to people. I'll just post on social media. I don't need to invite anybody personally. And they do that and they do that and they do that. And do they have success? Maybe at first, maybe they get a few people with their posts, but to have success in this business long term, you need to connect and invite people. Like you just have to. You have to have those conversations. It takes a lot of conversations to get people to trust you and to get people to want to be a part of what you're doing. And I always say, do what your coach tells you to do. If your coach is like, hey, if you tell your coach what your goals are, if your goal is to make $250 a week and your coach kind of reverse engineers this and says, okay, if you want to do this, you need to talk to this many people every single day. Trust the process and do it and follow it through. If you don't do that simple thing, you're going to fail. You have to be coachable, because listen, the coach who's coaching you or the coach you're getting advice from has been in your shoes and knows what it takes to get to the next step. So why wouldn't you listen to what they say? Give it a try. And I think some people, they try it and they try it for 3 days and they're like, well, that just doesn't work for me. And honestly, of course it doesn't work. It takes a little bit of time. So listen to what your coach has to say and try it, because your coach has been there. That doesn't mean that as you go on that you can't change things or do things a little bit differently. But in the beginning, when you're learning, try the system that your coach is trying to teach you. Walk with them and learn. So learn the basics. Then as you get a little bit more confidence, add your own personality and flair and experience to the mix. Learn what they have to say. Be coachable. Try it. Trust them, because they are where they're at because of what they've done. So I know some of you are like, hey, wait, my coach doesn't help me at all. I have nobody who's willing to coach me. How can I be coachable if nobody is willing to coach me? I know that was going to come up, but I remember in Summit 2 years ago, I remember Carl getting up on stage and saying, nothing prepares you for being the CEO of your own business like being the CEO. If you have nobody to coach you, that sucks. It does. It sucks. But that doesn't mean that you can't overcome it and still have success. That is absolutely no reason to still fail. So first of all, if you have nobody who's willing to lead you, utilize the coach training in the online office. Yeah, it might not be perfect and amazing. It might not be a system like Melanie Mitro has or anything like that, but it will still teach you, and it's a great place to start. Lean into the team page. Lean into the team page. Ask questions. Search through the team page. There's that search bar when you're on the team page. If you have a question about becoming Emerald, search there, because somebody somewhere has probably asked, and you could read through the comments. Search YouTube. Every top coach out there has a YouTube video explaining every last thing. That is the greatest resource that you have at your fingertips. And Google. Google is like my friend. I love Google. I read a quote about Google today. You can ask Google questions that seem absolutely idiotic, and Google will never reveal to somebody that you didn't know how to do X, Y, Z. Google is your friend. Go to Google to ask questions all the time. And the last one I should have put on there is, if you don't have somebody who's willing to coach you, pair up with another coach as a success partner and work together. Lean into each other to learn the ropes. Because trust me, like when I started my team, there wasn't a team training for my team for me to teach. I felt like a complete loser. I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to lead these people? Well, nothing prepares you for leading people like leading people. You cannot wait to know it all to do anything. So not having a coach hold your hand is no excuse to not be coachable. There's information and resources aplenty in this age of technology. You must simply be resourceful. Honest, resourceful. There's resources, must be resourceful. Reason number 2, this was the one that really got me fired up, is they don't treat it like a business. Someone who's not having success and failing at this business is because they're not treating it like a business. And we have all heard that saying, if you treat your business like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. But if you treat it like a real business, it can pay you like a business. I've always said I treat my business like I invested $1 million into this business. And if it doesn't succeed, I will lose $1 million. Because it's true. If I succeed at this business, I have the potential to earn as much money. It's limitless how much money I can earn. But if I treat it like I spent $140 on it, do you think that's really, if I only had $140 to lose, would I really care? Probably not. I have the mindset that I invested millions of dollars in this business, and if I don't get up and hustle every single day, no matter what, then I'm going to lose out on all of that money. And I don't like to lose at anything, and I certainly don't like to lose money, so that really fires me up. Are you thinking that this out-of-the-box business doesn't require the same commitment and consistency that other businesses do? Because we like to think that our business is flexible and it's easy and we do it at home and provides us all this freedom. And I think sometimes we get that mentality that I'm doing this business so I can have all this freedom, and we skip the part of all the work to get to the freedom. Like somebody who has a brick and mortar store, they can't just be like, yeah, I don't really feel like opening my store today. I don't think I need to go. I'll be fine if I just show up later. You can't have that mentality. You have to show up because there's people who want to get in your store. It's no different than you, even though this is kind of an out-of-the-box business. Hold on. I have a dog chewing a bone and it's loud and distracting. The beautiful thing about our business is that we don't have to devote 40 plus hours a week to be successful, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to work. So you have to really mind that mentality of, I don't have to bust my butt 40 hours a week, but I still do have to work. I have to be intentional with my action and intentional with my hours and get as much done as I can all the time. Vital behaviors. I'm going to talk about those vital behaviors. You have to do them every week, every single day. You have to do them. Even when you're tired, even when you're deflated, even when you're disappointed, even when you're frustrated, even when you're ready to pull your hair out, even when you don't feel like it, you have to do it. Even when your life literally is falling apart, you have to show up and do something. It might not be the intensity that you used to have. Like me, I've gone through this crazy transition in my life. And it's been hard and it's been awful. And every single day I have not wanted to work my business. I have not wanted to talk to people. I have not wanted to do any of it, but I did it anyways because there's no backup plan. There's no plan B for me. I had to do it. So I've gone through this crazy life transition and I have made Success Club 37 months in a row. And I could have been like, yeah, well, this is hard right now. So I'll just pick back up once my life is easy. That's not going to happen because life isn't ever going to be easy. There's always going to be a reason not to treat your business like a business, but that's what sets you apart and makes you different, is that you are going to treat it like a business all the time. Okay, remember, our business is simple. It's just as easy to do our daily activities to grow our business as it is to skip them. Our business can be blissfully flexible and you can maneuver your work around your life, but you still need to make your work happen. It's the compound effect. You have to do those daily activities every single day to grow your business. And you also, I think, have to evaluate when you're doing your daily activities. If you have a goal of Success Club 10 for the month, which is a great goal, but your action is to talk to one person a day, chances are you're not going to get there. So make sure that your goals and your actions align. Talk to people. I really, really, really think that most people underestimate how many people they need to talk to have success. It takes talking to a lot of people, because I feel like out of the 100 people I talk to, maybe 1 or 2 are ready to become my customer. And some of those people I have to talk to for months at a time. But you have to do that work. You have to lean in and do that work and make it happen. Don't let that blissfully flexible way of life that we have with this business make you forget that you actually have to work your business. Make it flexible, but when it's time to work, get your work done. Okay, reason number 3 why people aren't successful and fail at businesses like this is they're not willing to get uncomfortable. We've all heard it before. Nothing grows inside of your comfort zone. You have to be uncomfortable getting uncomfortable if you want to succeed. It's true. It's cheesy. I'm telling you something you probably have heard 100 times over. But most of us have never done this kind of business before, and when you get started, it's awkward, scary, and uncomfortable to put yourself out there. It's awful to send those first invites. Sometimes I still hate to send invites. It's awful to be vulnerable and real on Facebook and share your life. It's hard to do Facebook Live. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, but that's what doing this business is. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to stretch what you think would be okay and go a little bit past it. So maybe you're used to talking to 3 people a day, but you have big goals. Maybe you need to stretch how many people you're talking to and go more and get uncomfortable with sending out more conversations, talking to more people, doing more posts, being more real and genuine in the things you say, letting that part of your story out that you might be thinking, oh, I don't know, this is kind of scary to share. But it's in those things, those uncomfortable things, is where that magic really, really happens. So, and this is another thing I see coaches do all the time. Are you hiding behind getting ready to get ready because you don't feel ready and you're scared? I see so many new coaches that they want to like absorb every information that they can, and they spend a lot of time getting ready and finding the perfect post or the perfect picture, and they're waiting for everything to come together. But you can't wait for that perfect thing to come together. You just have to take action before you know anything. You don't have to know every single ingredient in Shakeology to be successful. I still don't know every ingredient in Shakeology. I always say people don't care what you know. They just want to know that you care. So even if you don't have, it's completely okay if you're working with somebody and you're like, and they ask you a question and you don't know the answer, especially as a new coach. It's perfectly okay to say, hey, Susie, I don't know the answer to this, but that is a great question. Let me find the answer and get back to you as soon as possible. Do you think somebody would be like, oh, this coach doesn't know anything? No. All they know is that you care. You'll get them the information. So you don't need to know everything. It doesn't have to be perfect to work. You just have to get started. I saw this quote, earn as you learn. Earn as you learn. That's what this business is. I always said, for me, coaches are like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Some of it falls right back off and it didn't work. I'll keep throwing it at the wall. And if it, because if you try something one time and it doesn't work, that doesn't mean it doesn't work forever. But you just have to be creative and keep trying and keep going forward. Throw stuff at the wall. Just do something, anything. Don't spend your time getting ready. If you're learning and doing all this training and not putting anything into action, you're just doing yourself a disservice. You can absorb all of the information in the world about how to be a perfect coach, but if you don't take those steps to talk to people and to do it, you're not going to get anywhere. Okay, reason number 4, they're not hungry enough. People fail at a business like this because they're not hungry. So you can be coachable, you can be consistent, you can know everything that you need to know, but then what happens? It happens to all of us. That thing called life. It gets in the way. Your kids get sick, there's chaos all around, and you have no time. It all happens. All of us. Coaching is always that one thing when life gets crazy. It's the first thing that we want to drop. It's the first thing we want to let go of when things are too hard, but it's the last thing you should let go. I always say when you're going through something hard, don't walk away. Lean in. Don't let your business be the one thing you drop when life happens. It should be the one thing you cling to as much as you can because it's what you need the most. And life happens to all of us every single day. There are people who are wildly successful with harder life situations than you have right now. It's because they're hungry. They want this so bad. They have a fire in them that it cannot be contained. I had that fire and I kind of let it wane a little bit with my crazy life. So for me, this was really a humbling thing to hear because I think I had lost my hunger. But when I first started coaching, like I had nothing else. It had to work or like my life was going to fall apart. So when I didn't want to do my business, when I didn't want to talk to people, when I really didn't want to have anything to do with it, I did it anyways. I remember when I first started doing team calls and my life was crazy behind the scenes. I was crying right before I got on team calls, before I talked to coaches, and I would wipe my tears and I would do it anyways because I was hungry. Like, think about Tara Carr. Tara was hungry when she was trying to get Adam out of the military and get him home safe. She had a hunger and a fire that burned in her that no matter how she felt, she still worked. So are you hungry enough to do this business? That's because some people stop this business when life happens while other people keep going. So when life, you have to act like you're so hungry, like you haven't had a carb in 6 months, kind of hungry. Like, you have to find that passion to keep you going, like hunger, like you think about it, you breathe it, you eat it, you sleep. Everything has to do with this because it just has to work. And when I was at Summit this year, I went to Summit. Many of you don't know this. I went to Summit to decide if I was going to quit coaching or not because I had lost my hunger and my passion. And it was at Summit that I heard somebody, I was in a training session. I don't even remember which coach it was. Oh, I do. It was Becky Brissett. And I actually saw her and I thanked her for it. And she said something that she felt like her hunger had been waning and she was losing her passion. And she had told her husband, yeah, maybe coaching isn't for me. Granted, she's wildly successful. And her husband said to her, Becky, hello, there is no plan B. Like, this is what we got. This is how we earn our money now. We've left our jobs. There is no plan B. And I remember hearing that and thinking, yep, that's right. There is no plan B for me. There is no plan. Like, right now I have no other job or no other income coming in than coaching. That fires me up and it scares me and it makes me hungry. So do you have that hunger? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to succeed? And this kind of all goes back to your why. What is your why? If you don't know your why, you're going to fumble, and when life happens, you're going to be easily to walk away. But your why has to be important enough to get you to show up when life happens, even when you're bone-ass weary. You have to have that fire in your belly, that hunger in your belly of why you're doing this, and it's different for everybody. And I know some of you are like, it's because I want to help people. I think helping people is a product of what we do, but I don't know that that is enough to fire you up when your life is falling apart to get you to show up. You have to have that one thing, that one reason or two reasons that fires you up, that if this coaching business didn't work, that thing would never happen. And so because you want that to happen so bad, you're willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. Because if you want something bad enough in this life, we make it happen. If you want it bad enough, no excuse, no time, no limitation, nothing will get in your way. It might take time and it might take a lot of work, but it's possible if you're willing to work hard enough, no matter what. Oh, that's my last slide. Woo! Okay, we stopped my share. Look at all these people that are on. Hi, everyone. Okay. Oh, okay, I'm going to read through the comments and then feel free to unmute yourself and ask some questions. Because of personal issues, I started reaching out to other coaches on our team. Yes, that's another thing, Carl. So Carl said when his coach went absent, he started to reach out to other people. That's what you have to do. You just have to reach out to people. Beat on people's door. Find somebody who will help you. Find somebody who will answer your questions. Do what you have to do to get the answers that you need if you're willing and able. And here's the thing. Carl isn't my coach. Carl, nothing that Carl does, anything he sells, any coaches he had to his team, does nothing to me for my income whatsoever. But Carl had a passion and fire and hunger. I couldn't not help him because I saw how fired up he was, because I knew he wanted this so bad. So that's what you have to do. Some coaches would be willing to help you even if they're not your coach, if they saw that you had that fire, because more than likely the people that you're reaching out to help you, even if they're not your coach, have that hunger too, so they get it. They remember what it felt like to want something so bad that they're willing to do what they can to help you. Carl said, I'm uncomfortable starting conversation. I tend to be a little too blunt when it comes to invitations. Faith without works is dead. Okay, try going live in smaller groups. It helps to get comfortable with it. Also, you can go live and set it to only me so you can practice. How does that work, Diana? Can you hear me? Going live where it's only you?
So when you go to post something, there's that little arrow that shows you if you're public or with just your friends. If you scroll down, it'll show you, it'll say like only me. Like you have to scroll through and you can put in only me. And I actually did that. This is kind of embarrassing.
Okay,
So I did that. Okay, I did that with my kids today because I gave them Daily Sunshine. And I knew that my oldest was going to love it. And my youngest, who's 3, does not like anything right now. And he took a sip of it and he goes, yuck, this is disgusting. I'm like, I am so glad I am not live, like, for the world to see, because not something I wanted the world to see.
Had it worked out and he did like it and you could have then posted it, changed the settings?
Changed it from only me to public or to my friends. And I've done that a couple of times before when I either have the kids in the background or I don't want to get distracted by people commenting. I'll just go live and do what I need to do, just post it for only me. And then sometimes I forget what I'm talking about, or life happens, so I have to restart it again. And sometimes I just repost it for public. So it works.
Do you know if Facebook does the same like algorithms, like does it still count as a live video that'll go in a lot of people's news feeds? Sorry, I'm taking off my nose.
It does count as a live video. I just don't know how it falls in their algorithm.
Well, that's definitely a good way to get started.
Start commenting. But I mean, if you want to get used to going live, that's a good way. Or, go live in your free groups when there's only 10, 15 people. Or I even started just a private family group a while back where it's just my family, and we'll just message each other on there and go live and just be stupid, really.
So I'm going to ask, of these 4 reasons that I mentioned, not being coachable, not treating your business like a business, not being hungry enough, and not willing to get uncomfortable, I'm going to ask each of you which one is the one that you've struggled with the most. So Anastasia, I'm going to pick on you. Which reason do you think you have struggled with the most?
What were my options?
Not being coachable, not being hungry enough, not willing to get uncomfortable, and what was the last one? Coachable, not willing to get, not hungry enough. Oh, not treating it like a business.
Oh, I don't know. I would probably say not treating it like a business is probably, I'm not as organized as I should or could be. I'm just a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl. So some days or some weeks or some months I'm really on, and then sometimes I'm not. So
great, good honesty. So I want you to be thinking of what steps you can take to flip that. Carl, which reason do you think you've struggled with?
Already working on it this month, girlfriend.
Good, me too.
I think for me, I'm just the same as Anastasia as far as not treating it like a business. That's interesting. She used the same words I would have used. I tend to fly by the seat of my pants pretty much on everything in life. So I need to be more organized. So I joined one of the things I did to try to help that is I joined Josh Coates' new group this month, The Art of Recruiting. And I'm hoping to get more, I'm hoping to use that to get more organized. I need to get a system together, whether it's using Teamzy or with something. I have to do a better job of keeping track of my invitations, my follow-ups, just everything.
Teamzy, get on Teamzy, just do it. I know it's $25 a month or however much, but it's just like you don't have to think about it. And it's not a system. Like I know some people have been trying to use like Google Streak and Asana and that kind of stuff. But I really think that just find something and stick with it. I think sometimes if you're disorganized, this is just me on my soapbox, I think you tend to hop from system to system because you're trying to find the perfect system.
Right.
You just have to find a system and then work the system and stick with the system.
Do you have to be real tech savvy for Teamzy? Because
that's super easy.
Okay.
It's so easy, Carl. It's so easy. Okay, Diana, I'm going to ask you, since we're going to run out of time in a minute, which one of those reasons do you think is the one you struggle with the most?
I think think I have cycled through all of them pretty much since I started coaching. I'm going to go out of the box and say consistency is probably my main problem right now. I will do really well at my posts and then forget about my follow-ups. I will do my follow-ups and my connects and forget about my posts. The other day I had somebody who was like, yeah, let's do this. I'm really interested. Give me more info. And then I lost her in my messages, and it was a new Facebook friend. So she wasn't on Teamsy yet. So I didn't follow up. And I followed up like 2 days later, and I haven't heard back from her. So totally my fault. So I'll reach out to her again in a couple of days so it doesn't look like but I think I've gone through all of them, and now consistency is what I'm focusing on.
Got to treat it like a business. Okay, Erica, what about you?
We are frozen.
We did freeze.
So I think it's been a little bit of everything too. Last month I don't think I was hungry enough, but then this month it was like I just had a 32nd birthday and I signed up a new coach yesterday. So I don't know. I think I wasn't hungry enough for a while. I don't like getting uncomfortable. I haven't gone live yet this week, and I've put it off for 2 days, like freaking out about it. And I don't know why, because once I do it, like it's always a hit. So I don't know. This month I'm 10 pounds away from losing 100 pounds. So I'm like crushing it.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's been crazy. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
On my mind.
Amazing. Okay, I want to make sure Jessie has time to talk. Jessie, which reason have you struggled with?
Mine is definitely treating it like a business. Teamsy, I was horrible at following up, but maybe I need to do it again. But I'm losing track of clients again, because I stopped using it. I'm like, okay, I need to get back on it again. But just being serious. I mean, I'm serious, but consistently being serious. So I just kind of stopped caring and inviting everyone. I just stopped caring what people thought. And the last couple months, last month, I was Success Club 14 because I stopped giving a crap. I was like, I'm not going to worry about it. So I think it is treating it like a business. I do need to get on Teamsy again, though.
I know. Okay, so I will share this. I'm also in the same training group as Carl and by Josh Coates, and he talked about being a rock star. You have to. Where did I find it? I think I would be organized. Oh, he was talking about how you have to basically get over yourself. We get so much in our head that we think that people are just going to be totally thinking about what we're thinking about and overthinking. People are too caught up in what they're thinking about themselves. They're not going to think about what you're doing. Do you ever think about that? We overthink what we're saying and doing and posting because we think we're so important and that everybody cares. They don't care because they're worried about themselves. So you have to pretend like they don't matter. Who cares? And the Josh used this thing if Adam Levine or whatever his name is, if he had some hater that was your outfit sucks, do you think he would care? No. So why do you care if some random person, even if they're your family, cares about your post or don't like it? Well, get out of my life. You're not my people. It's funny because I use Teamsy to add people. And when I add new friends to Teamsy, I mark them as a number 5 prospect so I can make sure that they're the first people that I message. And I'm going to be honest, I'm behind. I'm just now messaging people that I added in July. And so some of those people I've been going back to message and they've unfriended me. And I'm like, bye, Felicia. You ain't my people. I don't even think twice because they were new friends that I who cares? But I think a couple of years ago, I'd have been why did they unfriend me? What did I do? Why didn't they like me? But now I'm they're not my people. See ya. Stop wasting so much energy on the people who hate on you or maybe don't respond to you. They're not your people. You just have to keep going and be next, whatever. You just can't give a F, Yeah, he basically said rock stars don't give a fuck. You have to pretend you're a rock star. You just don't care. I'm sorry that's vulgar language, but it's true. You just can't care what other people think. Invite with abandon. I really, really think a lot of people don't have success because they really, really, really don't talk to enough people. It boils down to that alone. it's a simple numbers game. I'm such a numbers person. You have to talk to enough people. And if you only talk to because people are like, well, this business didn't work and they quit. And I'm like, well, did you talk to people? Because you can't just talk to 5 people and think you're going to be a millionaire. It just doesn't work that way. But anyways, do you guys have any other questions before we hop off here for the night? No? Well, I appreciate you being on. I have rockin' butt internet at my new place. Before, my internet was so slow. And now I have internet, so it's not all choppy. I'm just so happy. So let's do this, guys.
Real quick, I want to show Carl. You can do Teamsy on your phone as well. I don't know if you can see it. But it's, can you see that?
Kind of.
So Carl is just it goes through and it just shows you these are the people I should be connecting with. And I haven't done my power hour today, but those are the next 5 people that I should be connecting with. And
it's so easy to use. Who else is using Teams? Who else is using Teamsy? Here, I'm using it. Anastasia? No, you don't like it?
I stopped for a little bit because my business was kind of stalling, and I went on Google Streak, and yeah, that was a big mistake. Yeah.
We froze.
I love Teamsy.
We froze.
I'm using Trello. I discovered Trello last week, and I love it because I can put people's pictures on it, which helps me a lot. And it's awesome. I'm kicking butt, and it's free.
That's good.
Beachbody coaches are using it. I Googled what's comparable to Teamsy because I just can't afford it right now. So Trello is what came up, and there's YouTube videos on it. Top coaches using it. Trello, Trello. It's really awesome.
Yeah, Jesse, you should do that training. Message me and talk about it.
Erica, can you import your Facebook contacts into it, or do you have to input them manually?
I haven't figured that part out yet. You just go type in on YouTube Trello for Beachbody, and you'll see, I can't remember her name, but she's a blonde chick. It's literally the second video. And watch her video, because it blew me away. And so I'm probably doing stuff the hard way. I am not to the point where I can teach people how to use it, but it is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing I do love about Teamsy is that you can just take all your Facebook contacts and just move them over, so you don't even have to do it.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, I need to go. My kids are I'm here's an iPad, leave me alone. It's totally bedtime here too. Thanks for being here. I will see you. I don't know who's leading the team call next week, but if it's me, I'll be back and I'll make sure everybody can be on it. Bye, guys.
Bye, Ashley.